This C6 Corvette has a problem. It rides like absolute dog crap. It's horrible. It's the worst riding C6 I've ever had a chance to test drive. And in a previous visit, we diagnosed that the magnetic shocks are all shot, especially the right front is absolutely 100% shot. This car already has shock simulators in it because the stock ones weren't working, obviously. And the owner has elected to go with some regular replacement shocks because the magnetic ones are almost impossible to find, and if you find them, they're close to $1,000 a piece. So let's get after it. First thing I like to do is scan any vehicle that comes into my shop so that I know exactly what codes are on for what modules when it gets here, and then we can do the same thing when it's all done, or at least we'll have verification of what the codes were when it arrived. Here I'm mainly looking for electronic suspension control, which would indicate if there's any codes related to the existing shocks and simulators, and there are none, so that should remain the same after I replace the front shocks. This thing has one of the nicest sounding Borlas on it I think I've ever heard. Just a nice, deep, mellow tone. Okay, we're in the front right here on the top. You can see they've got the shock simulators already plugged in, basically because the magnetic shocks don't work. So we're going to pop this cap off. All you have to do is depress that spring with your finger, and it'll pop right off. So those are the factory shocks. We have nut, upper bushing, and the rest of that will come out from the bottom. And that's all we need to do on this side, and we'll move over to the driver's side. On the driver's side, we just have to move this coolant surge tank out of the way, remove this nut, that nut, and then we'll fold this up over so we can get at the top of the shock. So the surge tank, you don't have to disconnect the hoses or anything. It just kind of flips up, and you just set it there. And now we'll zip this nut off and the washer and the bushing. Underneath the passenger side, and this shock has lost absolutely all of its fluid. Look at how dirty the entire cast aluminum A-arm is. By contrast, take a look at, this is nice, fairly clean aluminum. And this shock's leaking as well, but not quite as bad. But they're both going to the big dumpster in the sky. All you have to do is remove two nuts essentially from the bottom of the A-arm, compress the shock, and it'll pop out. A couple of notes. First, those shock simulators that were already installed in that C6 Corvette and working very well are the units sold by AFE. There are other brands out there on the market, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure which ones are the best. So if you've got first-hand experience with various shock simulators in your C6 or C5 Corvette, leave a comment below and share those experiences with everybody else. I ended up replacing all 4 shocks on that C6 because they were all toast, because the rear shocks have these little brackets mounted to them. Check out this test. We're using all of my strength. I compress and release the old shocks first, followed by the new ones. 2 old rear shocks that are shot. Here's the 2 new ones. Here's the big difference. Check this out. That's old. Here's a new one. Actually dampening the bumps. That demonstration clearly shows how toast the old shocks were. In the old days, you could go to each corner of a car and compress it and let it up and kind of tell which shocks were good and which ones were bad. That type of test will not work on our C5 and C6 Corvettes because we have these large anti-sway bars that essentially somewhat connect the driver's side and the passenger side with a large torsional spring. Once we get underneath the Z51 equipped C6, the first thing that really jumps out at me is the size of this front anti-sway bar. If you've got the experience of driving lots of C5, 6, 7 Corvettes over the years, you can simply go for a ride on a relatively bumpy road, throw in a few swerves, and get a good idea of the condition of your shocks. Using this method, it is admittedly kind of difficult to tell if the shocks are just getting a little bit weak. No matter what, you always want to visually check the shocks for signs of leakage. A little bit of seepage over the years is normal. A lot of leakage from the shock is a sign that they're probably shot or will be soon. If you're really on the fence as to whether or not your shocks are good or bad, you could always disconnect one end of the shock while it's still in the car and then compress and release the shock a few times, and that should give you a really good idea. Replacement shocks. Now, I don't focus much on the cheapest shocks available if all you want to do is drive around recreationally, but some are going to ask for my recommendations in the comments below, so here they are. For recreational shocks, if they're cheap, you probably can't go too wrong with some Monroes or Gabriels, any kind of a brand name that you've heard of before. But for performance shocks, if you can find a good price on C6 Z06 shocks, then they're a good option, but they do offer a much firmer ride. In fact, I do have the C6 Z06 Shocks in my C5 Corvette, but unfortunately their prices have gone up significantly in the last few years, so they're no longer the great performance bargain that they used to be. For most people in 2026, I would probably go with the Bilstein B6 Shocks if you just want a better ride than the base suspension C6 has. If you're into autocrossing, road racing, or want an even better handling shock and are willing to put up with something that's a little bit more firm, a lot of guys use the Bilstein B8 Shocks, and they're very well respected, and the price of the B6 and the B8s aren't too bad. Guys, that's a wrap on this video. If you learned anything, please tap that thumbs up so YouTube knows to share the video. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and most of all, thanks for watching.